Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Championship predictions video where myself and a guest will be predicting every match from game week 2. And this week, as it was last week, as we did so well, I've brought Ollie back. I say we. Did you do well,
I can
Ollie?
neither see nor hear you, Nick.
Oh, that's a great start. That's a fantastic
We're having
start.
issues. I'll leave and rejoin.
Okay, no worries. So what I will do is I will have a quick talk through what's happened last week. So obviously, Norwich. What happened with Norwich? Norwich was supposed to be the team that everybody needed to beat, and they got beaten themselves really, really badly. Well, it was 1-0. But there's obviously Burnley managed to pull it off with Vinny Company. First game, people weren't too sure about Company, but he's managed to get him the first win. Huddersfield certainly weren't great, but I'll bring Ollie back in. No, I won't. He's gone again. This has started off really well. But what we asked for was people to put their predictions in the comments, which we got quite a few of, which was fantastic to see. And I just want to give a few shout outs to Joachim Jakobsen, Manish Thapper, Key, Philly Sports Passion. But if we can get Ollie back this time.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes.
It's working. I can see you. I can hear you. Just what we wanted. It went perfectly.
Fantastic. Would you like to give a shout out to the in the comments to the guy that got the best score?
I would indeed. Sean Cranfield, a great performance, equaling the best of us with his 6 points for the weekend. Obviously, a very difficult one to predict. And as I'm sure you've already gone through, everybody in the comments did as well or better than me. But we're not talking about that, so it's fine.
Well, we are talking about that because I'm going to pop it up on screen. This is exactly what happened last week, Ollie. And as you can see, the green ones are 3 points. The yellow ones are 1 point. So there you go. This is the predictions table as of right now. How do you feel about that, Ollie?
It's an absolute stinker. I thought Friday night I'd got a point. I was winning. I was buzzing. I was celebrating on Twitter, running my mouth. And that soon came back to bite me. So we're needing improvement this week. We don't look at league tables early on, do we? You know, we're waiting. We're looking about October. That's when it'll matter.
Wait
until then.
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. Now, shall we just crack on straight into the video as none of that technical issues happened earlier on. So let's talk about Birmingham versus Huddersfield. Now, I watched the Huddersfield versus Burnley game, and Huddersfield were terrible. Now, they're playing Birmingham. Again, I keep saying this every week. I'm expecting Birmingham to have a bad season, to be perfectly honest. So I'll just bring up the predictions now. I've gone for a 0-0 draw. Ollie, what have you gone for?
I agree with you. 0-0 draw. I think this has just got shocker of a game written all over it.
Yeah, Huddersfield did not set the world alight last week, and I'm expecting that to continue, to be perfectly honest. Next up is Norwich versus Wigan.
Yeah, so it's a difficult game, this one. Obviously, last week, Norwich have had a really poor result, losing away at Cardiff. You know, I think they've not really created anything. They've not created chances. They've spent half an hour playing against 10 men and just really been struggling to break them down. My worry about this game, my worry for my own prediction, is that if Norwich don't start this game well and Wigan can put some pressure on, that crowd is going to turn because they're not happy. Last week, Wigan themselves played all right. I think, Ben Amos has made some good saves. They seem to have a lot of shots, but I'm not really fancying them here. This is a really tough game away at Norwich. And so my prediction for this one is 3-1 to the home team. What about you, Nick?
Yep, I've gone for a 2-0. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll pop up some of the comments. Yes, it's gone above it. 2-1 Norwich, Scott's gone for. Jack Jarvis has gone for 4-0 Norwich, going for a big one. But to be fair, Ollie, Norwich lost their last game. So they're going to want to come out fighting and smash some goals past Wigan.
Yeah, they've got to get that crowd on board. They've got to get going. They've got to get going fast. So I'm backing to really start well here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Bristol City versus Sunderland. Now I watched the Sunderland game as well on Sunday, and they passed it around beautifully at times, but they were a little bit cagey. They went 1-0 up. Gyökeres scored an absolute fantastic goal for Coventry, beauty, and they couldn't quite see it out. Now Bristol City, I'm expecting them to come out firing in this game. And I'll tell you what I've gone for, mate. I've gone for a 2-1 Bristol City win. And so have you.
And
Wow.
so have I. Anyone think, we could read each other's minds or pick predictions that are just typical because it's obvious what's going to happen in this game. So if it's not 2-1, then it's just that the world's gone wrong and the logic was perfect. But yeah, Bristol, I think they were unlucky to lose their first game. I think they were a bit hard done too. And I'm backing them to bounce back here. I think Sunderland are going to be good at home, but their away form might be what lets them down.
I agree with that. But do you know what I don't agree with? Something that you've just done that we hate. What did you do?
What did I do?
You called Bristol City Bristol.
They
don't like it. They don't like it. It's just like calling us Sheffield. They hate it.
Well,
do you know why I know that? Because I called them Bristol in a match reaction when we played them, and the comments went wild. So, yeah, I thought I'll just jump in there and call them Bristol City anyway. Now, let's move on to Burnley versus Luton. An exciting one, you would have said, because Luton had a great season last season. They didn't start particularly well, and Burnley just about did.
Yeah, I actually were really impressed with Burnley on Friday night. We have to go for the trademarked new Burnley. They're not a kick and lump it team anymore. They're going to play it a little bit nice. They actually really did catch my eye. I thought they were exciting. I thought they played the ball really well. But defensively, they were still really solid, though. They restricted Huddersfield to so little. They had 70% possession by the end. Really good performance from Burnley. Yeah, Luton, it sounds as though played quite well against Birmingham. Obviously, we didn't have the opportunity to see this one. But they've created quite a bit of XG. They've put the pressure on, but I still think they're going to struggle in this game. I'm seeing the comments flying in, and everybody seems to be thinking it's a Burnley win. I'm going to agree with the comments. I've got Burnley to win this one 2-0. About yourself?
Yeah, I've gone pretty much the same again. It's 3-1. It's a 2-goal cushion for Burnley. I think before, if this would have been the first game of the season, it would have been closer for me. Yeah. But Luton not winning that first game at home just made me think that they may not have as good a season, which is stupid because it's the first game of the season. Anything can happen. We were certainly terrible last season. Right at the start of the season, and we got so much better.
Whereas this season we were great to start.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll get there. We'll get there. Preston versus Hull City. Now, is this one of these games that we don't care about?
Entirely. Absolutely entirely. I told you last week that I didn't care about Preston, and nothing has changed bearing on their 0-0 draw with Wigan. Just don't care.
And you hate Hull?
Well, yeah, exactly. So, if anything, I'm actually rooting for Preston. Even then, I can't care.
No, same here. And you know what? I think our scores say that exactly. 1-0 and 0. Sorry, 1-1 and 0-0. 2 draws, 2 boring draws. And I think you've got this one, to be honest. I wish I'd have gone 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I don't think anybody's going to be rushing out to buy a DVD of this one when it's done.
No, there's quite a few people saying Preston draws.
I'm seeing some decent score draws as well, 2-2 or 3-1. Yeah,
there's a couple of 2-2s
goals is a big shout.
Absolutely. What about QPR versus Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough then?
Yeah, this is a tough one because, QPR, it sounds though quite poor against Blackburn, but then again, they've only lost it to an absolute worldie of a goal. I think Travis's gets my goal of the weekend last weekend because it were an absolute beauty. But I were expecting more from QPR. Hopefully they're expecting Willock back this week, which I think makes a big difference to them because Shadipo, just for me, is not cut out for the championship yet. It just doesn't look like he's at this level. Borough, I did watch them on Saturday night, and for the most part, they impressed me, a bit like us. They were good between both boxes, or us under Wilder, should I say. They were good between both boxes, but the lack of a striker just seemed to kill them. Giles down the wing impressed me. I think they'll be better this week. I think they've got that striker in force, and I think they'll win this game fairly comfortably. I'm going 2-0.
Wow. Well, I've gone for 3-1 actually. But for some reason, we don't seem to have a graphic. That's gone lost. So let's go straight into Reading and Cardiff. No one cares about that. It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
Let's go into Reading versus Cardiff. Again, I think we've both gone for a 0-0 draw. A very, very boring game. We wrote off Cardiff massively in the last video, and they managed to pull off a 1-0 win against Norwich, which was, I don't think anyone saw, to be honest.
No.
And we got memed on TikTok.
I'm a TikTok famous. Oh my god!
Yeah,
well, I think it was you more than me, Nick. To be fair,
yeah.
You were the one backing him for relegation. I
really was, and I got called a lot of names in the comments as well. But so in this game, Cardiff are not going to score a goal. They're not going to score a goal. They're terrible. I'm going to carry on saying they're terrible.
Last week, they've won a game from, I think it was something like 0.05 XG. A random deflected shots bounced in corner. It's a great win. It's a fantastic win. Nobody's taking 3 points off them, but you're not going to repeat that. I don't think they score. I think 0-0.
No, there we go. Whoa, 2-1 Reading, 2-1, 2-0 Cardiff. There's a lot of different scores going on here. James saying 1-0 Reading. So, yeah, a lot of different scores there, but no one's gone with a 0-0, and we've both gone with 0-0. So, we must just be so in sync.
Last week was apparently the lowest scoring opening weekend ever in the second division in England, which is probably making me very cautious this weekend and being like, no, it's all going to be 0-0. 0-0, nobody's going to score. But, you've got to just go off what we know, and we know very little. So let's say there's going to be no goals.
And do you know what? We shouted that out, didn't we? We said that there were going to be loads of goals in the first week, as there always is. And obviously, commentators curse.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the Blades at home against Millwall. We did not win. We did not draw. We lost against Watford on Monday night. We're waiting all that time, and we lost. And Millwall, they managed to win 2-0 with 2 Charlie Cresswell goals. And what did I say?
Yeah, you called him out. You called out the main man. I didn't realise, though, and we probably should have mentioned last week, apparently he's Richard Cresswell's son.
He is, and I only realised that by watching the ITV show or whatever. Was that where you found it out?
Those highlights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it exactly the same way.
I'm glad that Dean Ashton's back, but Colin Murray needs to be there.
Oh, it's daylight robbery. Colin is he made the show. It was so good on Quest. And I think, maybe it'll get better, but teething issues, and I'm missing Colin massively. Just want him back.
Me
that
too.
Meme, I just miss him. I want him back.
Yeah, we need to tweet him. Straight after this, we will both be tweeting him.
Come on, Colin. Where are you?
So I've gone for a 2-1 Blades win. You've gone for?
I've gone 1-1. I think the only thing that I'm comfortable predicting is that Jake Cooper is going to score the Millwall one. I'm fairly confident in that. I think it's got to be done. He does it against us every time. I imagine the scenario will be that we've controlled all the ball. They've frustrated us with an organised defence. We're really trying to break them down. We finally get the goal about 85th minute, and we're sat there saying, right, let's defend it, let's keep it. And then in about 95th minute of 3 minutes added on, Jake Cooper powers an header in. And we all just go, well, obviously. But that's just what happens when we play against Jake Cooper.
Exactly. Every time. I'm already ready for the comments on the reaction video as well. I really am, because I think a couple of comments has already said, are you ready for the Jake Cooper show? No, thank you. Let's move on anyway. We don't want to hear any more about Jake Cooper. Now, Stoke City versus Blackpool Football Club. Ole.
Yeah, well, I made some assumptions about Stoke's old, expensive legs last week. And I was duly informed that actually they have brought the age of that squad down. They're not quite relying on the same. However, the point still stands that they then went and lost 2-0 to Millwall. So they certainly have some issues in that squad. They weren't creating very much. And obviously, they can be got at via set pieces. However, despite a good opening day win, I'm not sure about Blackpool. I think they've scored early. They've given up a decent XG to Reading. They've got a decent... I like Charlie Patino. He's my FM guy. I love him from Football Manager. But unfortunately, that rarely means very much when I watch real football. And whenever they've got Josh Bowler, they might score. I don't think they will this weekend. And I've actually got them getting pumped. I think 3-0 Stoke.
Wowzers. Well, I've gone 2-0 Stoke, so I don't know why I'm wowzers in you. No, I do think Stoke will have a half-decent season.
Yeah.
I think they'll finish way above Blackpool. So I think, obviously, we've gone for a Stoke City win. Swansea versus Blackburn Rovers, Ollie.
Yeah, so Swansea, obviously, last week I spent all my time bad-mouthing Rotherham, and then they get a very creditable draw first game of the season. Swansea had to rely on scoring a Wilde and then missed an absolute sitter. I don't know what he was trying to do, but just kick it in empty net, mate. I do think, though, overall, Swansea will dominate the ball in this game. I wasn't impressed overly with Blackburn. They're another team who had to score a Wilde. I referenced it earlier with Travis being my goal of the weekend. But I just think having control of the game will really work for Swansea, and they will punish Blackburn this weekend at home 2-1.
Wow, there it is, 2-1. I've gone for a 2-2 draw. I thought Blackburn were okay in their game. They got the win. And I think that's going to see them through to getting a draw in this game. And I think we need a stipulation that in every prediction, at least one game needs to have 4 goals in it. So I've gone for a 4 because it just makes it more fun, doesn't it? At the end of the day, we're not trying to win money on these predictions. We're just having a bit of fun and seeing how many we can predict.
I got 4 in the Norwich game. I've got 3-1. That's my 4 goals for this weekend. You know, I think that's going to be where I go big.
Don't count. Now, next up, we have got Coventry City versus Rotherham. As I said, well, no, I didn't say it. I said Rotherham going to win the last game.
Yeah, you did.
They didn't lose. I'm taking that as a win. I knew they would perform on the big stage. I don't think they're going to perform on this stage. I think Coventry are going to pump them. I've gone 3-0. You've gone 2-0.
Yeah.
We're expecting Rotherham to get beat, aren't we?
Yeah, massively. Look, last week they've got a great point. You know, we've just referenced it in the Swansea game, but they've done that with 26% possession. You can't do that, repeat it time and time again, especially not away from home. I think Coventry win this. Gyökeres is already off to a good start. I back him for a goal. Yeah, I think 2-0 and it's comfortable.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player and he's going to score a lot of goals this season. And we've done a fantasy football league. Well, there's 3 of us in it, 3 friends in it. And I was going to put Gyökeres in it, took him out, obviously then goes and scores. So, very good player. He will score at least 17 in this game and they will win 3-0. So, West Bromwich Albion next against Watford, Ole. This is box office, this already.
This is a proper game. Yeah, last weekend, I thought West Brom, like I referenced before, I think Middlesbrough were the better team there. I think second half, West Brom did come out and show what they're about. Immediately, you've got Wallace and Swift connecting for goals. We know that is how they're going to hit teams. They're going to punish them. But against us, I thought Watford just looked so solid defensively. We really struggled to get through them. Maybe there were mitigating factors, such as they were playing against us. But, you know, there is something there that shows they had a solid base. And that front 3 is terrifying. Until they have to sell either Dennis or Sarr, I am absolutely terrified of that. And I think with those, they're going to drive them forward. I think running at West Brom were giving up a lot of sort of space for teams to run into against Borough. Just they didn't get punished. They will get punished this time. I've gone 2-0 Watford.
There we go. And I've gone for, as I quickly take that comment off screen, I've gone for 2-1 Watford also. Well, also gone for a Watford win. They were devastating. I don't think it's necessarily about having to sell. I think that they're going to want to play at a higher level. And the thing is as well, what I thought, it'll go 2 ways, this Watford team. It'll either go, they don't want to get injured for a big money move, or they're playing for a move, and they were playing for a move. They were fantastic, that front 3.
Yeah, they were excellent. I mean, that first half in particular, I thought they were just running at us. They were causing all kinds of problems. You know, in the end, they didn't actually, I will say, create a goal because, you know, there were mitigating circumstances to how they managed to get through our defence. But their pace, their power is what causes the mistake. You know, they're running at teams. They're really putting you under pressure. And it's just at this level, I don't know if we'll see a front 3 as good as this one if they stay for a season. I think they score so many goals.
Yeah, I do think at one point John Egan did a Cruyff turn on the halfway line, and for a second he was like, "Oh God, they've got 3 really, really fast, pacey strikers. I must turn around and give it back to my goalkeeper."
Yeah.
So that just proves, doesn't it, that everybody's absolutely scared to death of those strikers. Terrified. Anyway, that leaves us like we're done. we're done for another
The
week.
weekend.
So, again, what I'm going to say in the comments, make sure you put all your score predictions in the comments. Ole will total them all up as I've given him that job. And hopefully we'll still be, well, I finished on par with the viewers. You were nowhere near. But hopefully we will stay ahead of the viewers because right now we are, well, I am joint top with the viewers.
Yeah,
There you go.
I really need to pull my finger out. I need to try and take on the viewers. I need to try and take on you. And more importantly, I need to just try and make myself proud because last week weren't it.
Make your mum proud. Make your dad proud. Make me
do my best.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here, Ollie. That's it.
I got you at the end.
You did. You eventually did. But I'll try and clip that out on YouTube if there's a way. So, and I might have to clip out what you've just said just in case.
Probably for the best. Probably.
No
worries.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.